So this is my thought. I've got my 12.5-inch back, right side out, right side down, and my batting. And I'm going to start with one of the pieces that I know one of my dolls has. And I'll just kind of center that on here. And then I'll put a piece on top and stitch it down here. And I'll be back. Just going to make sure that it's truly a 1/4 inch. My 1/4 inch foot. Yeah, and I'm going to stitch that 1/4 inch all the way down here. And cut that with this. And I'm going to press that open. Maybe I trim it first, I'm not sure. Look, he's smiling at you. I like to keep him in my coffee cup so he doesn't touch anything. And even if I forget him, I don't have to worry about him. I do have to snip this across here. Kind of straight across. Doesn't matter if it's perfect because there's going to be a piece over this. So you just keep working around clockwise is how I'm told. So I put this piece on, and my next color, whatever I decide that'll be, will be right here. And face down on it and stitch down through there. Okay, my next piece is on. I think I'll trim it before I roll it over. Yeah. And again, press it. Happy little dude. Okay. Next, going clockwise, the next piece is going to go right across here. I had that one stitched on backwards, so I had to rip it out. Okay. You can see it's going along nicely. Next color. Kind of keep track of your colors so you aren't repeating something that you didn't mean to. See how the edges aren't perfectly lined up? That's okay. Get over it's far on the shortest one. Line it up with the shortest one. As you can see there, this red one's the shortest one in the center. And then just do your 1/4 inch from the edge of the piece you're putting on. This is one of those times that having a recessed sewing machine would be helpful instead of having to pick it up onto the machine each time and risk your alignment getting off. Again, put it along the shortest one so you're sure to cover it up. And you can see this one needs trimming on both ends. I could have squared it up to begin with, but I didn't. So just get it close. Close is good enough. I make a pile of all my pieces that I used over here. And that's my pile of, these are all 2-inch strips. But they could be any width, it doesn't matter. And they could be varying widths, actually. Just to make it interesting, it could be varying widths. So with something like this, I don't have to go all the way to the end, to the edge of my other piece. I just have to be able to be sure that I have it where it's going to get trimmed. So I can come to there, and because my piece is a little short, it still reaches here just past where my trim will be. So I don't have to worry that it didn't come all the way out to this. I don't believe. I'll find out in a second. Okay, I'm going to turn it, press it open. I like to set the seam first. And let's see what it will look like. So when I cut this off, I have plenty, because I'm going to trim right across here. And I'm going to trim right across here. So it's straight down this. And there's plenty of room. All of my backing is covered. So I should be good. So again, with this one, I don't have to come all the way out to the end. It's nice to square it up first. It's easier. I don't have to go all the way out to this end up there, because that would just be waste. So I can move it where it's off of there at a safe distance. And I will only have to stitch down to here. Okay, so again, this one, press it over, and you can see there's plenty of room for it to be trimmed off the edge from the where the backing is. So there'll be plenty sticking out. So when you get to this point where you're just adding across here, you don't really have to keep going in that clockwise direction, because you're just filling these in, finishing off the tips. So you can just keep going with the one you were on. Try not to repeat, I guess, something that were too close by. So try not to repeat a color that was too close, or a pattern that was too close. You wouldn't want to have this right in the same row, that close to it. So just pick something different. You can just try and use up some of your shorter pieces that you had left that you started with. That's all. How about that for some old thread? Old Walmart spool. I hope it holds up. Okay, now you can see I got my entire square covered. That's what it looks like from the back side. And I'm going to trim all this around to my backing piece. So a little short right there. And I had one that was a hair short, but I know my seam allowance will cover it, because it's like just the very tip. So it looks kind of, it's all quilted, front and back. And I'll trim it up. Okay, I'm going to trim it right on the lines here. Right down through here. Okay, that's the back of my block, and that's the front, and that's going to be